the MOSIT, which is Rajeev Chandrasekhar, has tweeted just now saying that he has learned from news reports that the parliamentary questions that Mahua Moitra asked were very similar to the Hiranandani Group's questions to him. And Hiranandani Group, as we learned from our IT department sources, is that was trying very hard for this first mover advantage when it comes to data localization. Now remember, data localization is an essential part of Atmanirbhar Bharat, Digital India, but the government has been putting a lot of checks and balances. It does not want any monopoly over this data localization. So there is a lot of care that the government has been taking. But Hiranandani Group allegedly has been pushing for this, and they do have a server set up in Noida, and they had actually raised these concerns, and they wanted some contracts from the IT ministry, and that is why they basically had also met some officials, but clearly the ministry had not complied with their requests. And after some days, what emerged was the questions that Mahua Moitra raised, TMC MP Mahua Moitra raised in her parliament session were very similar to the questions that Hiranandani Group had raised with the IT ministry, and this is what MOSIT has said. But clearly Mahua Moitra has also sort of rebutted these allegations, saying that her breach of parliamentary privilege needs to be investigated only after breach of privileges by other BJP members get investigated. She has welcomed the CBI inquiry, but has also raised questions. So all of this is in the realm of speculations, but it's a stunning revelation by the MOSIT, who is in some ways revealing that in some ways also confirming that Ms. Moitra could actually be asking questions on the behalf of Hiranandani Group, which was also alleged by BJP MP Nishikant Dubey in his letter yesterday. We remember that the letter is already with the Speaker's office. The Ethics Committee of the Parliament gets reconstituted every year. So, there are precedents of the Parliament taking these matters of probity and propriety of MPs very seriously. In 2005, 11 MPs were also sort of expelled from the Parliament. In 2015, the Prime Minister himself talked about how MPs need to be careful when it comes to conflict of interest. They should, in fact, not even be participating in parliamentary committees which discuss topics that concern their areas of, businesses. So, this is something that the Parliament takes very seriously, and ITMOS Rajeev Chandrasekhar talking about this today and confirming the allegations raised by Nishikant Dubey in his letter yesterday, and also Jay Diadre, who is an advocate on whose complaint to the CBI Nishikant Dubey's letter was based on. This in some ways also is also a confirmation of what has happened.
Right, Vasudha, though also right now, it's all allegations that have been made. If you could give us details of how Nishikant Dubey, the letter that he wrote, what the allegations there are right now, and how does this get dealt with going forward?
Of course, Gagi, so basically, there is a speaker. He has sent a letter. Nishikant Dubey has sent a letter to the speaker. He has accused Mahua Moitra. He has alleged that, she has breached a parliamentary privilege. But at the same time, he has also said that, it's a criminal conspiracy. And he has also talked about how this is contempt of the House. So those things he has raised, and that letter has gone to the Speaker's office. And what I understand is that from the Speaker's office, it goes to the Ethics Committee. The Ethics Committee is also led by the Speaker. And the Ethics Committee actually examines every letter or complaint against every member of the Parliament that comes. In fact, according to the rules of conduct that every MP is obligated to, every MP needs to basically declare his or her business interests, and at the same time also needs to follow the rules of conduct in which she is basically not accepted. I mean, she cannot accept or expect any remuneration fee for moving a bill or moving a resolution, or even voting against a resolution. More importantly, ask a question in the Parliament, or even abstain from asking a question. So these rules are all laid out very clearly in our parliamentary procedures, and conflict of interest is something that has been raised almost a century ago in the Indian Parliament in 1925. So clearly a lot of care has been taken by the Indian Parliament to put some of these practices of checking the probity and propriety of MPs in practice. So clearly the Speaker's office needs to sort of decide on this, and we are told that there could be a decision on this soon.
All right, and Vasudha, this issue of the IP address, if you could, explain that, because Nishikant Dubey has demanded investigation into Mahua Moitra's IP address. She's also put out on social media on platform X in reply about how, work is done by PAs and assistants, interns and large teams, etc. So she's responded to that particular point. But if you could give us more details of that, explain it to us.
So clearly, Nishikant Dubey has also doubled down on his allegations. Mahua Moitra has rebutted them, and she's been very, she has posted a lot of tweets since yesterday where she said that, in some way she's rebutted it, and also at the same time she said that, there needs to be an investigation on the BJP MPs on, against whom she has also raised complaints. So, but with regard to this particular question that you're asking, there was also an allegation in Nishikant Dubey's letter to the speaker yesterday that Mahua Moitra had allegedly also outsourced her Lok Sabha login to Mr. Darshan Hiranandani, and this is the same group that has been accused of posting questions on her behalf. And Darshan Hiranandani is also, a real estate magnate, and he's also basically the son of Niranjan Hiranandani. And the Hiranandani group and the Adani group have been rivals in some ports. And Hiranandani group, while has been under the scrutiny of the IT department, has also lost out very important contracts to the Adani group in the recent past. So that is one important thing. And this login that was basically given to somebody else, who was in India, who was not in India, and where was it being operated from. So there are actually some, security challenges and security threats that some of the government people have also been talking about, and that has been raised by Nishikant Dubey, and that is why he wants an inquiry committee to look into how the login was being operated. Was somebody posting questions on the behalf of the MP, or was she posting them on her own? So these things have to be investigated, is what he has demanded, and that is why he has basically also called for her immediate suspension from the House till an inquiry committee is put in place.